A-Systems is thrilled to present this video introducing the new features present in version 14.1 of our popular JobView accounting software. Ideas for new system features come from loyal users just like you. A good number of these ideas come from our semi-annual user conferences, where serious-minded JobView users gather to share ideas and experiences they've had using JobView. Thank you for your input and the wonderful suggestions you've submitted, making you a valuable partner in our development strategy. I'm going to show you some of these new features and explain their benefits. Keep in mind, there are more new features in version 14.1 than we can show you in this quick video. We've chosen some that are readily apparent and easy to describe using this visual medium. Let's start with a general enhancement that spans multiple accounting modules. Ever since JobView was introduced, a certain convention has been followed in all of our main transaction entry windows. That is, when a transaction has been successfully inserted, the transaction is saved and the window is cleared in anticipation of the user inserting another transaction. When the user is finished inserting new transactions, they must click Cancel or press Escape to close the insert window. We call this feature Repetitive Insert. We have had some customers who would prefer that the transaction entry window be closed after each successful insert. That's why you'll notice that in the Batch Properties window for all of our batch entry modules, there's a new checkbox titled Repetitive Insert. This box is checked by default. However, you can uncheck the box, and then any transactions entered into this batch will not use Repetitive Insert. In other words, the entry window will close immediately after each successful insert. This feature is present in all batch entry processes, including GL transaction entry, AP and AR invoice entry, AR receipts entry, equipment log entry, and pick ticket entry. Let's look at a couple of other changes in the Accounts Payable module. Here in Payment Selection, we have added a column total for all the columns in the list box. This way you can see immediately how much is open, how much has been retained, and how much has been selected for payment. Here in the Batch Settings for Accounts Payable Invoice Entry, you can now specify a default checking account. This means that prepaid invoices entered into this batch will all use this account for the cash transaction. In Accounts Receivable, we'll take a look at the AIA Draw Request window. We've added an icon column to the list box. The icons indicate which scheduled values have been billed in part or in full. Also, in the AIA Draw, you can now pick which of your customers will be the party billed on the draw. For a long time, you have had the ability to store two different customers for any given job. This just lets you pick which of your two customers is the one who will be billed by the AIA Draw document. In the General Ledger Bank Reconciliation program, you can now mark a large block of transactions by clicking on the first desired transaction and shift-clicking on the last desired transaction. All the transactions in the middle will be marked. Also in Bank Reconciliation, you have the option of whether or not to print a full list of marked and outstanding transactions when you print the Reconciliation Analysis Report. In the Payroll module, we now track a few more pieces of information in the employee record. Here you can see a second email field that was added. And here you can see more information that can be stored for the employee's emergency contact. Also, we've added a new version of the Employee Commission Report. This report compares employee commission amounts to employee billed amounts to come up with a gross profit figure for each employee. Job Costing has received a few new features as well. First, we'll look in Budget Entry. a new button has been added called Quick Entry. This brings up a new window that allows for quicker entry of budget line items. Here is a new checkbox titled Cost Code is Inactive. Check this box and this budget line item can be excluded from the on-screen list and reports. Also, the system will not allow new costs to be posted to this code. Here in the Job Cost Analysis report, a few new options have been added. First, check this box to see a summary of costs by cost type printed at the bottom of each job. If you do, you'll see the labor line item also includes an average labor rate figure, or an average cost per hour of labor on the job. You'll also notice that the extended header now includes a figure called Unpaid Balance. This is the amount billed less the amount received. Speaking of the extended header, you'll also see that the column headings are now printed below the extended header instead of above. This makes the report columns more easily readable. Lastly, we'll look at the Universal Job Cost Report. We can now include accounts payable and accounts receivable reports in our list of reports to be printed. Also, we can move the selected reports up and down to create our own custom report order. Well, that's our new feature summary for this update. Of course, we didn't show all the new features, not by a long shot. To read up on the rest of them, consult your update documentation, or go to the Help menu and select New Features by revision level. Now it's time to look forward to version 14.2.